Welcome to Touched and Empowered, a show created to empower individuals to value their lives by hosting think tank discussions that will inspire positive action. Touched and Empowered with Katie and Ace starts now.
So, welcome to this episode of Touched and Empowered. Katie here with a mobile Ace,
Hi, guys.
because trying something new here is Ace is driving across the country.
Yes, I am.
Didn't want to miss our usual recording session.
I thought it would be an interesting recording session, and I think it's also very important that everybody knows I'm being very safe.
Yes.
Very, very safe.
And checking in with myself and with Michelle and probably a handful of other people.
And
while you're traveling.
William. Yep. Literally 100 different types of peoples. And then Midnight, my good girl, we're practicing all of her service dog training.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that way she's ready for her test.
As we catch the side of an ear.
Yep. She's like, why are we so slow? I'm like, because you and I, my pup, you need
Have to
lay
get
down,
back on the highway.
Yep, yeah, we do. We got another 5 hours of driving to go. 5 hours.
Well, that's not horrible.
No, it's not bad. And we're making it to Columbus, Ohio tonight.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Shall we talk about everything?
Shall we talk about your adventure thus far?
Sure. Should we ask Shadowbane to curate some questions for us?
I can, but I don't know what his questions are going to do with the unique experiences you've been having thus far on this trip.
Okay, then we can go organic. Katie, would you like to help pull out the stories of my life?
Well, let's see. I know that you started driving, I believe it was on Sunday.
Yep.
And today is now Saturday, so it's been 7 days on the road.
Yeah, it's been the 7th day, yeah.
I know that you stopped by Sedona, Arizona, which is where we are going to be holding our retreat.
Yep.
So you could check out the energies and the healing powers and all that other fun stuff there. I remember, I think you were driving through Utah when you called me and told me you were being stared down by a cow.
No, that was Colorado.
Oh, that was Colorado. Okay, so
I
got my states wrong. Sorry.
So it's okay.
States wrong.
It's all right. So thus far, so I went to, let's talk about the non-eventful. Well, they're eventful. They're pretty. So we went through, I decided to create a road trip for myself and my dog because I've always wanted to do this. Like I've always wanted to just road trip with my dog. But I didn't have a dog at the time. So now I do.
Right.
And the opportunity to go to New Jersey with my dog presented itself. I'm excited. Great. So I took a week to really, really prepare and kind of remember where I should fix some mistakes that I've made in the past when it comes to driving across the country.
Yeah, you did a very good job of planning out that you weren't driving for more than a certain number of hours in a day. You had a general idea where you were going to be stopped, where you were able to pre-plan. I think there were like 2 Airbnbs that you were able to stay at.
And gas. Making sure that I knew where I would get gas.
Yeah, that's important because I know that there was that one stretch where it was like 300 miles between gas stations or something like that.
Yeah, and I needed to make sure the car that I got could hold on to that much gas before going to the next stop.
So yes, you did a lot of research and planning and preparing ahead of time.
Yeah, I did. But with that in mind, we still had some interesting experiences. For instance, 1, driving through Joshua Tree to get to Sedona. Sedona was beautiful. That went perfectly well planned. Except for, now you're in a good pocket.
Okay.
For when my baby's being so cute. Sorry. Except when I ended up going a route that looked like, for whatever reason, it took 30 minutes longer, but it looked like it was faster. Then I found out that I was in a mountain. I was going to be driving through a mountaintop where I had to pay attention to the speed limits because if I didn't, I would have either hit an oncoming car, an arch, or fallen off the cliff. It was great.
So GPS sent you a different route than what you had initially thought.
I honestly think that Apple Maps is purely spiritual. Like it doesn't take you it may take you the fastest way, it may take you the legal way, but it may take you the way that people forgot to fix on the maps before going there. And then it takes you the way that you're supposed to go, in my opinion. I like
There you
Apple.
go.
But there were 2 times that I shouldn't have followed the GPS.
But you're safe. You're
But
fine.
I'm safe. I decided to not only plan to make sure the safety precautions of the stops, of making sure I had a place to sleep at night, all that beautiful stuff. I also very much made sure that I was going the scenic route.
Right.
Still acceptable to time constraints, because being on the road for too long is a lot. But yeah.
True. And it's nice to see some beautiful scenery instead of staring at highway traffic the whole time.
Oh yeah, we passed through the Grand Canyon after Arizona, after going to Sedona. We passed through the Grand Canyon. We passed through Zion. We passed Zion National Park, Bryce National Park. This is the Utah National Park Belt.
Yep.
And then we went to this. I Googled where is the best places for people to stay in between those 2 parks. I'm sorry, I went from Zion, Bryce, to stay between Bryce and Capitol Reef Canyon. Now that's beautiful. And they said the town is called Escalante.
Yes, I remember that one being on your stop, and I think you posted on Instagram, reel or story or something, but you posted something on Instagram when you were at that cabin or
Yeah, so that was
wherever.
a beautiful cabin. I didn't know that they turn off all the lights. There's no street lights, nothing. Just completely nothing. The reason why is because they're known for having 0 light pollution, so you can see the stars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. And they only had 6 cabins.
Well, that's nice and intimate, so it's not too crowded or crazy.
No, there's still like people camping because it's a campground.
Oh, okay.
So
Sorry, misunderstood.
it's okay. So they only had 6 cabins, but they had like all these spaces where people were also pre-camping or staying in their cars. And then they had laundry available. They had infrared saunas available.
Oh,
They had a dog park for midnight right next to my cabin.
very nice.
Very grateful. If you want to look them up, they're called Escalante Grand Resort
Okay.
on Instagram.
Save that one.
Yeah, save that one. That's a great place. I recommend it. Well, I'll tag them. I really appreciated them, because at night there was a point where I was a little scared, right? Like, you're coming from LA, driving, and I talked to this one woman who was helping me check in, and they were like, "So I'm glad you checked in. I'm glad you're here. Just wanted to meet you. I didn't mean to." She startled me a little, but it's okay. Midnight was there, and I was trying to read the map to find where I was staying, and I couldn't read it. I just could not read it. I was like, I have no idea. And she was so sweet. She was like, "It's not far." I'm like, "Do you mind driving me to it?" She drove me 5 feet away. She drove me literally 5 feet away to my cabin. She's like, it's really not far. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I was driving at night. I don't recommend driving at night when you hit the mountains, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Anywhere, Utah, Arizona, and Colorado, if you're driving through those states, never drive at night, ever. Because we're going to get to the 3rd story in a minute that Katie will ask me questions about, because I think I've told it way too many times. Go ahead.
All right, so you left Escalante and was going on the next set of the day, next days of travel. And that one, was that one with the cows? I don't know. I'm stuck up on these cows.
That was the one with the cows.
Because you were hysterical about these cows randomly walking along the side of the road, stopping
Oh
and
my
staring you
gosh.
down like you were some kind of fraud. It was hysterical when
Oh,
you were explaining it to me.
oh, oh my gosh. So Katie, all right. So Katie and I are on the phone, and I think to set up a to go to a gas stop in a certain area. And what's weird about this area is it was like an abandoned town. Like it was purely the start of a horror film. Like you go there, you can stop there if you ran out of gas, air quotes, but there's no gas station. There's like abandoned trucks and abandoned trailers, and it looked like, oh
Ghost
no,
town.
it looked like a ghost town. And I was like, oh no no no, we're not stopping here. Thank goodness I still had gas, and we kept driving. Midnight was in the seat next to me, and all of a sudden I just see these cows
Hmm.
just cross the street. And I'm like, oh shoot, braking. And this one cow, she stopped when I stopped and looked at me like, I'm walking here. Like she literally gave me the stank face. And I went, I understand, I respect you. Please keep going. Wow, you really looked at me like that. You looked at me like that. They claim that land.
Well, good
If you
for
ever
them.
want to know if you ever read the organic bred cows on, like, whenever you get whenever whenever you're getting, what is it, steak or anything like that, any type of cow meat, these were the organic cows that stared me down because they're grazing. I've looked into the eyes of my food, and I will have a hard time eating burgers for a while. just so you know, folks.
But good news is that you got to your cabin or destination for that night, and that was another good.
Yep.
That was another pretty
No,
location
I
because again, you
didn't.
posted it. No,
No, I didn't get. Well, I did get to it, but after I got stuck in the snow and firefighters had to come get me.
sorry, I was on a different day. I can't
No,
keep
you're on the
track
same
of
day.
your. I didn't realize
You're on
the
the same
cows were
day.
the same day as the snowbank.
The coast, yeah, they were. Because Katie and I lost signal at one point.
Right, we had lost signal. I sent you a text message that says, "Yep, you must be in a dead zone." Text or
Yeah,
whatever when you're free.
and I was. I actually had to learn how to use the SOS system on your phone.
So that is
Yeah,
something that
so,
everyone should check.
all right, so all right, ladies and gentlemen, this is good information for everybody. This will probably be an Instagram reel. So if you ever get stuck anywhere and you have no service, your phone has an SOS option. You click the SOS option on your phone, and it'll ask you certain questions like, do you need roadside assistance? What do you need? Why are you asking for help? And I wrote roadside assistance, and then I had to point my phone towards a satellite that's in the sky. You actually literally have to point to it, and trees can get in the way, so you have to get to the night sky.
So you have to have clear line of sight, so to speak.
Yeah, and you know how satellites are floating, so you still
Mm-hmm.
have to move with the satellite in order to keep text communication with a 911 first responder.
Okay.
So the entire time I'm doing this with midnight, as my car is stuck in the snow, mind you, I shoveled out as much out as I possibly could until the fear kicked in. Like, no, there might be an animal out here. Go inside. Go in the car.
Yeah. So
And
we're glad it wasn't like a huge accident or anything. It was just the car got stuck.
the car just got stuck in the middle of the woods. It was actually kind of weird because it shouldn't have gotten stuck. Anyways, so I'm like looking for the SOS person. They're asking me questions. I'm trying to stay connected. They're asking me for my name. I don't think they ever got my name. They just knew there was me and a dog in a car
Stuck in the snow.
stuck in the snow on a road that the GPS took me to.
So not on the main highway. This was one of those scenic roads.
That I thought was going to take me to my destination. It was 5 miles away from my destination. It was the wrong road, apparently. Or it was a road that would get me there, but it wasn't the road I should have taken. It was barely taken care of. There was snow all over it, so no one takes care of that road. And what ended up happening was the messenger, the people that that were messaging me were like, tow truck can't come until the morning, but the fire department's coming to come get you with side by sides. And I'm like sitting in the car like, oh, okay, cool. Do I turn the car off? Like I was just not sure what to do in that. They're like, if you're cold, turn the car off. But I mentioned turn the car on, but I turned the car off because I didn't want to signal whatever animals were in that forest towards me.
Right.
Or human, you know.
And so then you got rescued by firefighters.
2 of them are hot. I will not say their names because they might listen to this.
But I do know that you were talking a lot about red hair. So we know they have red hair.
Not all of them. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. Probably all of them. 2 of them. I remember 2 of them did, and then I remember. But Katie and I have this running joke about redheads. So
yes, we do.
That was yes.
But that's fine. That's beside the point.
That's beside the point. But yeah.
But again, they showed up. They helped you out. They got you to where you were your destination was. You said
so
like 5 miles away. So they actually
got me to the fire department. So they got me to the fire department.
Okay.
Because they couldn't get the car out. So I was like, that's fine. Just, on the ride over, I was telling Katie about this too. I was like, I don't why they were acting kind of funny, and I'll explain in a second about that. But we get to the fire department station. I already called my Airbnb host. She picks me up at the fire station, and we safely get to the Airbnb, which is absolutely beautiful. I'll show you the videos as soon as I get them when I stop. And then after that, I stayed there. Got the car towed in the morning, slipped on some ice, had to ice my knee, stayed there an extra night, and then got back on the road. So I just wanted to give you the overview of like, I was safe, I'm okay, yep. Thank goodness for SOS, and yeah. Now let's talk about the other part.
And which part is that? Because we did cover, granted, we were like talking for hours at a time. This entire, every single day this week while you've been traveling. So I'm going to ask, which component are you referring to that you wanted to discuss more?
So they were acting funny. Let's explain. I didn't understand this. Katie had to break it down for me.
Okay. Here's my understanding. Okay. When looking at any kind of TV or movie about firefighters, they have, not always, but they tend to be heroes. They're used to rescuing the damsel in distress. Ace is not a damsel in distress. Ace was tried to shovel out their own car. They were like, yeah, no, I'm stuck. Could you just like help me out here? None of this, oh, rescue me. And I'm being very sarcastic and flippant with this because
it's real.
I found it very hysterical. And also the culture of LA and the culture of where I am near Baltimore is completely different than the culture in the middle of Colorado.
Right.
So taking all of that into consideration, they probably were not expecting some tiny little person with a huge Great Dane dog just being like, yeah, no, I'm fine. Just, can you help me get my car out? Okay, cool. We're good.
Yeah, I packed a bag. I told the firefighters, like, hey, I packed a bag. I was ready for you. It's cool.
They probably just weren't expecting that.
No, I bet that. Yeah, I agreed with Katie because Katie helped me like process this because I was just like, because I'm very in tune with people, I can notice there was something a little weird, and I was just like, I was trying to get to know them because, hey, thank you so much for getting me out of a really dark spot, literally.
Right.
The stars were beautiful, and like I was just like I was curious because one, they were all tall. They were people I've never seen before. They must put something in that water. They must, because they're all just tall.
It's all that mountain air.
Oh my, right? And I'm just sitting there, in the car with them, trying to listen to their, and then they go off talking about hunting, and they're just conversing. They're talking, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh, and then I start getting curious. What do people come to this town for? And I'm assuming they're going to say hunting. They don't say hunting. They didn't say hunting, Katie.
I'm sure if they probably were not, my understanding, and again, I could be wrong, my understanding is they probably were not anticipating you asking questions. Because one of the things that I've learned is when someone is in a state of shock, talking in a soothing tone about anything will help keep the person calm.
Right.
Because they're not listening to the words, they're listening to the tone and the cadence and the soothing sounds of your voice.
Right. People don't care, don't remember what you say. They
Right.
remember how
People
you
don't
feel.
remember what the conversation's about. They just remember that you were talking to them in a calm, soothing tone. So the fact that you were asking questions probably caught them off guard because they might have been anticipating that you would have been in some form of shock, and you weren't. And it just
I,
means that you were not what they expected.
I was in shock before they got there.
Well, yeah,
For like,
because there was the sudden, oh my gosh, what just happened kind of deal.
more like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck. It was like a 5 second thing. So I am relatable.
Yes, you are relatable.
But please continue. I'm so sorry. I just want to be like, I'm not superhuman. I'm relatable. I was in shock at one point.
But it's so the interesting point of it is that you and I have both experienced multiple different cultures,
Yeah.
not only overall geographically, but also how different everything is across the US.
Yeah.
Because we've lived in different places, we've got family in different places.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes some very silly nuances that don't make sense until you get to know the people in those areas.
Right. Right. And yeah.
And so, from the quote unquote outside looking in, it's a completely different perspective than someone who lives in the area, maybe for their entire life, meeting somebody from the quote unquote outside. Not that that's bad or anything. It's just we have to remember to be open minded and be aware that not everyone sees things the same way, hears things the same way, or experiences things the same way because we don't know what's going on in the background.
And that was something that I was trying to like fact check with Katie because it was a little odd. Like I was conversing with them. There would be moments of like almost not stutters, but just almost caught off guards. And it threw me off too because I was like, why would that throw you off? This is conversation.
And the only thing that I can come up with is that it was unexpected
Yep.
because I'm sorry, they don't give a lot of. Okay, again, don't know. I've never worked in a 911 call center, but based on what I've heard TV wise and movie wise and everything else like that, when the information is relayed to the police or to the firefighters or to EMS or whatever, it's female with dog in stranded car.
Yeah.
There's no other details. So there was nothing saying we got a short, petite woman with a Great Dane. So of course they don't they're keeping an open mind because they don't know exactly what to expect when they come. But then again, the difference of someone very tiny with a very big dog just throws a lot of people off because
Mine
it's
too.
funny.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. No.
It's like the sumo wrestler walking around with a chihuahua.
Yeah, yeah, that's accurate. I get that. That makes a lot of sense. What was even funnier, I think was hilarious, was the fact that, hold on one second, was the fact that, so I have a California license plate on this car.
Right?
What kind of dog do you think people from California normally have?
A little chihuahuas.
Why is this taking me here? Okay, sorry. Yeah, So we're gonna get a little spigot in my background because I'm not allowed to. Why are you taking me here?
So do we need
No
to
through
stop?
road for GPS. I am not taking that.
Yeah,
Oh my
no,
god.
I'm glad you're stopped, and I can tell by your background that you're stopped right now. Yes, and I mean, GPS is a wonderful thing unless you happen to be in an area where there are unmarked roads
Yep.
or areas where the GPS doesn't work properly.
Signs are wonderful. I love
Yes.
signs. The fact that that sign said that made me very happy. When you are driving anywhere, to just pay attention to the signs. Because that one had zero signs. I think people just didn't think anyone would get stuck there. Puppy,
So,
you're a
but
good
good
girl.
news is that you finally got back. You took an extra day to rest after falling on the ice, which I'm glad you were not
Yeah,
seriously hurt from that.
I know how to ice my knee, but that was funny because I tripped in front of the freaking firefighters too. I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. I've never seen guys whip a freaking tow truck so fast to make sure if I was okay. But I did say out loud, I'm okay.
And again, probably not something that most people expect.
I literally did pop up like a Pikachu, and I remember, I'm okay. Woo, that was great.
And I know that you continued on through Kansas,
Yep. Continued on through Kansas.
which the only thing I know about Kansas is that it's flat. There are no
Yeah, that was
hills
nice.
or anything. So it's nice
Yeah,
even ground.
yeah. Oh my Katie, that projection of the damsel in distress from California, tiny lady thing, that was on for a while. It took me it was just weird because there were moments where for whatever reason internally something kept telling me tell them a little bit about yourself so that
So that way they know that you're not some tiny little damsel in distress.
they snap out of it. Yeah, they're projecting onto you. You know how to do this. Just yeah,
It all works out.
it does, and we're grateful it does.
Yes, we're very grateful that it does. And we know that you have made it past that area because last night you made it to Michelle's house.
Michelle Rawls, who is an amazing nutritionist that we haven't had on this podcast by herself.
Yes, we need to have her on the podcast by herself
Yeah.
because she has done a very good job taking care of you,
Yes, food wise. Yes.
helping with food planning and stuff like that for the trip, which is good.
And she housed me last night. I'm very grateful.
And then now you're doing the trek to Columbus,
Yep.
Ohio.
Yep.
And then tomorrow will be the trek to my house in Baltimore.
Yep.
And then to your folks in Jersey. So
Yep. We're in a good spot. I'm very grateful. I'm
so
excited.
even with the extra day of travel, because you rested your knee, you're still gonna make it in time for the holidays. Yay!
Yay! I think I'm only arriving maybe a day later, right?
Yeah, I think you're just one day
That's my
up,
good.
one
Yeah,
day
just one
later
day.
than what you originally told me.
Anticipated. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's pretty good because I drove pretty much 9 hours yesterday to make up for it.
Yeah, but it wasn't that it was 9 hours straight.
No, no.
You were taking breaks. You get out because I know you let midnight run around and have fun.
Yeah, there was a dog park
Yes, I
at
remember you telling me
one of
about
the
that.
gas stations. And right now she's being very cute. Oh, my baby. She's just being very cuddly.
Well, that's good. At least she's not like trying to run around back and forth between the front and the back of the vehicle while you're driving.
No, she's very good. She's gotten really good. She knows that at night she goes in the back and she goes in the front.
Very cool.
Yeah, she's doing really well. I'm proud of
So
her.
because we are coming up on time before we wrap up this episode, is there any other brilliant insight you would like to leave for our friends before we
Um,
wrap up this episode?
I know what you're thinking about, and I'm not going to say it here, but
I wasn't thinking just that. I was just thinking in general. I will give you a hard time about that off the air.
Go when you can and not when you have to. That's the biggest insight that you should take with you to your grave.
When you're traveling across country anywhere. Yo.
Anywhere, just traveling anywhere. Just go when you can, not when you have to. That is the prime piece of wisdom as a human I could give anyone.
Well, on that note, I don't know for sure the date that this episode is dropping, but we hope everyone has had a fantastic holiday and a fantastic new year, and we will have more of Ace's antics in another episode coming up, because Ace does have to drive back to LA in a few weeks. Adventures with Ace in the car.
Yes, safely.
Ace and Midnight Adventures. Or you could just start following on Instagram, and then you can see all the updates as Ace posts them.
That too, yes. And mind you, there are no accidents. There's a reason that I stopped in that town, and you will see that probably in 2 years.
No coincidences, just happy accidents, huh?
That's a funny note. Stop that. Nice pun.
Yes, very nice pun. All right.
So punny.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that the discussion today will inspire you to take positive action in your life. Until next week, be empowered.